we did on the last show about Israel and Hamas. Remember,
Yes.
I mentioned that they blew up the AP building. The
Right.
Associated, well, it had Hamas, it had Al Jazeera, and then the Associated Press, right? Offices in this building, so they blew it up. Well, an Obama aide, a former Obama aide, made a tweet that people he had talked to that worked in the Associated Press in that very building, they knew that there was Hamas had offices in there. But then he's since, because that went mainstream, he has since retracted and said, oh no, that's not what I meant. Right?
Okay.
It's not what I meant.
I know where he's going.
Used to know people who I talked to back then that knew. Come on now.
Yeah.
They knew.
Right.
They knew Hamas was in there.
Yeah.
Right? Don't sugarcoat it. But basically he was saying, yeah, they knew. They've been there forever, a long time. They've had Hamas has been in there. I'm sure sharing stories with each other.
Yeah.
Right. Of course now we all know they're in a ceasefire, so and then Biden's trying to take credit, but Egypt's the one that brokered the deal.
Egypt did it.
Egypt brokered the deal, not the United States. But Biden's like, I did it. I did the ceasefire. It's not true. It's Egypt, man. We're letting Egypt broker Middle East peace talks now.
I know, right?
Right? I don't know how much money, maybe in a couple weeks Hamas will fire more rockets.
Who's funding them?
Who's funding who?
Hamas.
Iran.
Okay, with what money?
Money that we gave them.
So basically, we're funding it. Okay, got it.
That's
The Iran nuclear deal went back into it.
That's the way it works, man. Come on now.
So
They use someone else's money.
we
It's
put the
fine.
Iran nuclear deal back. We give him money.
Sure.
Then they give it to Hamas. Hamas they're shooting. So basically, we're funding Israel's bombing.
Sure.
But
That
that's
is
how it's
nice.
always
Well,
been.
that's the way to
So
look.
that's fine.
Look, that's the way it always works. I mean, during the Afghan war and when Russia invaded Afghanistan, that whole thing, and then we went in there and supplied a bunch of covert weapons. I know you probably you watch Charlie Wilson's War or something. I don't know, or watch that. But we funneled weapons into there to give the Afghanis so they could fight the Russians, shoot down jets, blow up tanks. And then what happens? 9/11 happens, and then what we go and we're fighting the same weapons we gave them. They're our weapons.
Yeah, we're
right?
fighting.
Or they were Soviet weapons that we funneled through, other countries to get them into there. Through like the CIA and stuff like
Right.
that. All that covert secret squirrel stuff that goes on
Right.
in government. But yeah, so we know what they've got.
So we see
half
those-
the time we fight
when
people,
we see
we
those
know what
rockets
they've got
flying-
because
when
we
we-
helped them get it.
When we see those rockets flying at us, like, oh man, I know that missile.
I paid for that one. My tax dollars bought that one right there.
It's just going that
That's
way.
5 years of tax dollars right there. Go get them, boy. Right? But I mean, come on now. It's crazy.
Man.
Yeah. And then they're complaining because the left's complaining because save the poor Palestinians, they're getting rocketed. Well, some of the rockets don't even make it out of Gaza from Hamas. They land in Gaza. The ones that are lucky enough to leave that, shithole.
Yeah.
They leave like, woo, we're free. We're going to the promised land.
Literally.
I made it to Tel Aviv. I'm free. Oh man, I just blew up. I mean, come on. And Israelis, they've all got bomb shelters.
Yes.
Palestine could do the same thing for their
Yeah.
people. Stop funding Hamas and maybe build some bomb shelters, or maybe just get rid of Hamas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I don't think the problem that Israelis have is with the Palestinian. The
people.
the people, the small business owner or something that owns a small mom and pop shop that's got a family
Right.
that's not involved in terrorism. That's not who they're after. But when you got Hamas that moves upstairs or right next to his shop,
Yeah.
what do? You can't always. I mean, it's horrible that people in this, but you can't just let the terrorists do whatever they want, even just because they're next to soft targets, right?
Right.
So, I mean, at some point you got to draw the line. I mean, man, if we would have done that in all the wars we fought, shoot, we wouldn't have. Who knows? But you'd all be maybe speaking German right now. I don't know, or Japanese, one of the two. Because back then we didn't have guided munitions. You're just dropping bombs.
Yeah, dropping bombs.
Hey, it looks good to me.
Yeah.
Bombs away.
Yeah.
But now these guys, Israel, they can pinpoint, put that thing right where they want it.
Right.
But if you stacked a bunch of women and children on top of you, well, you know, it's horrible. But what do you do?
And I'm sure they do.
I mean, Israel is smart. They got that Iron Dome. They've got bomb shelters for their people. They still had deaths, not as 10. I think the last count I saw was 10 deaths.
Right.
But Palestine's had a lot more. Gaza's had a lot more. But
And
again,
the people that want to pay for it, you know.
right. But again, I say, you know, it's two different civilizations, right?
Yeah.
And one's letting terrorists flourish, and the other one's like, no, you're not going to flourish in my country.
Yeah.
So that's the way it should be everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah. Terrorism should just be shot
I mean,
down at all times.
and you know, I've heard the argument before from people is, well, you know, we're poor, we can't. How do we fight these terrorists? We could die. I'm like, well, you might die either way. But why not at least die for something that's good for your people and your country, than to die because you're used as a human shield?
Right.
I mean, let them know you'll stand up. I don't know who said it. Somebody once said it. I can't remember who said it. Said it to me a long time ago. They said, you know, I don't mind going to fight for somebody, but they got to be willing to fight for themselves too.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm not going to go help you fight.
Right.
Because it's your fight. I'll come help you, but you got to have the will to fight too.
Right.
Right? And that's what they have to do. They have to have the will to fight this terrorist. And if they do, I think people will come to their aid.
Oh yeah. If they see them that they're struggling, yes.
And we've done that, and you know, it's bitten us in the butt before. We used to look at history where we've gone to help, and they wind up turning it back on us.
Yeah.
The ones that gave them everything to help. So I don't know. It's
70-year-old teenager sue his parents for being born white. Now this is not. Oh, this is being white.
okay.
Now I was wondering. I said, like, well, I guess I will not. I will not have that problem. But maybe my guess here, maybe you. I don't know. If your kids are white, you risk being sued by your own kids for being born white.
I'll disown them first.
I only
Get
have
him
one.
out of the wheel.
I only have one that's albino. So the rest tan quite nicely.
The albino might sue you.
Yeah, the albino might sue me. He's my little Aryan son.
All right, this guy is from, let's see, St. Louis, Missouri.
Oh, Missouri.
Hey, nice.
Missouri.
17-year-old is undertaking one of the most controversial lawsuits in history of this country as he's suing his son biological parents for being born white. He's 17-year-old. His name is Anthony Wright, like the Wright brothers.
Okay.
He claimed he has suffered his whole life from shame of being born white. Quote, when I was a kid, I spent hours in the shower trying to wash off the white of my skin. But will never go away, he added. And he said it painfully. Isn't there enough white people on this planet already? Haven't we inflicted enough suffering, racism, and oppression in this world? He asked reporters. His parents admitted that they were completely in shock when they learned that his son had hired a lawyer against them. Quote, we just want to end this nonsense, and we just want him to come back home. We love you no matter what color of your skin, said the mother on camera. White guilt.
Question is,
Lawyers make good
I'm like,
money.
who's paying his lawyer?
Yeah. who's
like
paying
his
lawyer?
parents.
He's 17.
I
He's
know, right?
suing his parents, but using their money to sue them.
Right.
You know?
Where's he getting the money from? That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, but this is white guilt.
Who's giving him white guilt? Doesn't seem like his parents.
Himself?
He himself, who knows, maybe in school.
Yeah.
He claimed that his client has suffered severe psychological distress, symptoms of depression, and suicidal tendencies because of what he called, quote, the burden of white privilege. It's a burden to be white.
Burden.
Are you carrying any of that burden?
No, I don't
It's a
have any
burning
of that
sensation.
burden. When I was in high school, I never hung out with one white person. All my friends were of other races. The only people I had a problem with were white people. And not because they were white, because they were I didn't get along with the jocks, the football players,
Okay.
and I hung out with the other crowd, right? But
Right.
so I don't understand that whole, I was like the token white guy. right? So I don't understand what that whole, I don't get it. I just don't get it.
The
On either
burning-
side. I don't get the either side.
I don't either.
Like, I don't get why, I don't get it. I mean, everybody wasn't raised that way. Maybe that's it. Maybe some of these kids are raised that way. I don't know.
Well, I mean, if they're in
It all goes
public
back to
schools,
their
that's
home.
all they're being taught.
It all goes
nowadays.
back to their home, though. But their
Not just
home
their
is,
home.
Not
Yeah,
home. I
true.
mean, public schools.
That's
That's
true.
literally what they're teaching
Yeah,
them.
true.
If you're
Well,
if
that-
you're white, you're
Well, that's,
like
that,
you're
that's
the
the
problem.
critical race theory, and that goes back to that guy. That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
The videos they're watching, it shows that white people are bad, and that
Yeah.
they're showing that to people in the military. White people are bad.
He's suing his parents.
For what? How much?
$20,000.
20 grand. You don't get much for 20 grand.
First year tuition, like
to more,
Can you
to more
imagine-
indoctrination.
yeah, to more indoctrination.
He goes to Michael Jackson's incubation and said, like, how much will it charge me to turn black? How much you got, son? 20,000. Okay, I'm gonna make you a little.
Let me go grab some spray
pigment
paint
right
real
here.
quick.
Just a pigment on your cheek. That's
Yeah.
20 grand right here.
Here's a Sharpie.
Sharpie marker. Color in the rest.
20 grand.
What does he want to be? Does he want to be a different color?
Yes,
Does he
hang
want
on,
to be
the
black
story-
or brown
yes.
or
Yes. Let's see here. He plans to change his name.
okay? What's his name going to be?
Guess.
Jamal.
You read the story.
No, I didn't. Are you serious?
That's racist. That's racist.
Yeah, you're racist as hell, but how do you assume every black guy is named Jamal?
It's just Jamal. It just came to me. All the movies, there's always somebody in a movie
That's
named
true.
Jamal.
It's always Jamal.
There's always
So
a
that's,
Jamal.
that's a famous black name. Just
Yeah, it
like
is.
John.
Yeah, it's a white dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, or Mike, or I don't know, or what's the other white famous name?
Jeff.
Jeff.
Jeff. Last
So-
name is always Smith. Smith is like literally the white man token name right
I
there.
actually knew a guy in high school named John Smith.
John Smith. So he wants to change his name to Jamal Freeman.
Jamal Freeman.
He's gonna
Free
be a
man.
Because I'm going to be a
man.
free man.
Freeman.
But you're white. I thought you were already free.
Wait a minute.
Already
Did I miss something?
Backtrack a little
I
bit.
know,
Let's
right?
go back.
Yeah, let's go back.
Uh,
He's asking his parents for $20,000 skin coloring treatment that he needs to turn his skin color, hang on, to dark black.
Right, we're talking dark. Oh.
So
like
I am,
from the condos of
I am,
Africa dark.
I
or
am,
like
I
almost
am
purple?
offended because he wants to bypass my skin.
Isn't that?
That's
I have
racist.
yeah, right.
I'm offended.
What's wrong with being?
What's wrong with being
He doesn't
brown?
want to be brown.
Oh, he doesn't like Hispanics.
He's racist.
He's racist.
So he wants to end racism
That
by
white,
being
that
racist.
white dude is racist.
Yes, he doesn't want to be brown.
Isn't that? But wait a second. He's
He doesn't
white.
like brown.
He's white.
He's white.
Okay. But
Redheaded.
and he wants.
He's
He's a ginger. Well, he has no soul, so that explains everything. Well, that's a good story. Into that story. No, but wait. He's white. He wants to be black. Isn't that appropriating someone else's?
Yes, race appropriation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just say he looks and he marries a
Maybe he'll die.
black lady.
Right. What if she finds out he's really white? We're gonna wind up in this. We're gonna have another story just like the dude in China.
Yes, he turned himself black.
Update from episode 3. This is episode 270.
Remember the white kid
With red hair.
red hair that wanted to be black.
Married another black lady.
He married a black woman. She found out he was once white, and she's now suing.
Because the kid is as white as an albino.
Yeah, because the kid's white and ugly.
And this is episode 220 update.
Yeah.
The kid is now suing the parents. Because he found out his dad was white.
And he's gonna be saying, "Shit, I remember this 20 years ago."
And white people don't exist anymore.
I'm sure this guy will be saying, "I know what my mom and dad are feeling."
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I guess you have another B&W tip, number what, 4 of the day?
Yeah, 4 of the day.
Homeschool your kids.
Don't rely on the government.
Yeah.
Shit.
Not this one.
Not this one.
This is messed up.
That's
shit.
insane, man.
That's insane. I'm telling you, man. See, that is the fruit of white guilt. All of this propaganda, and now you can see now the fruit of the labor just came out and displayed on this kid. This kid is really embarrassed of his white color.
Well, I didn't
do anything.
Growing up, like, even in my time, I'm still pretty young, but like I didn't even grow up with this stuff. Like I don't remember any of this stuff happening in school.
No.
Like high school wasn't that long ago for me, but like I was never taught this stuff. Like all this white guilt, white privilege, all that type of stuff. I was still taught the correct way that history is supposed to be taught. Black, white segregation, Civil War, everything like that. But nowadays, like they're teaching this thing to kindergartners.
Well, we were
like shaming you.
Yeah, it's
we were raised that segregation was bad.
Right.
Yeah, and now we're learning that it's good, apparently?
Yeah.
Apparently
now we're supposed to be
it's great. You're supposed to be segregated.
Yeah. I thought we were not supposed to be segregated.
But that's another thing. I mean, that's for another time, too.
Right.
Division in the United States right now.
Right.
It's just, it never ends. It's just, they're always looking.
Well, if you can do that, then I can say I'm black.
Yeah.
I'm black.
I'm not black. I'm not claiming that.
Whoa,
crap, I need to leave again.
So he's so proud of his whiteness.
White privilege, it's just always there.
It's always, I knew it.
It's always there.
White people, man, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I can't get over me. I can't comprehend that. I can't. Such a white power, man, I'll tell you what.
All right, this is now turning to B-Pack. No BMW anymore.
see how he's working right now? I'm shaming you guys.
I think that kid should win his court case.
I should have been this kid's lawyer.
See how propaganda works.
I should have represented this kid's lawyer.
Yeah.
I should have been representing this kid in the courtroom.
Yeah.
You honor, right?
Yeah. I'm black.
We both have been suffering.
We're brothers.
Yes. We both have been suffering, you
just
honor.
from different mothers.
Anyway, that's all I got, brother.
That's all I got, too.
That's all I got.
All right, I'm done.
All right, me too.